Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation, saying wow! It looks like gold and silver has recovered much of yesterday's losses. Not all of them, but a step in the right direction, quicker than I expected. Let's explore! This comes to us from CNBC, and we can see here that there's been some mixed reporting about the payroll and non-farm payroll and employment numbers. And we're going to take a look at this here from this vantage point, but we're going to look at the overall bigger picture here. But as you can see from the headline, the S&P 500 rises on Friday to close out winning a week near record high. So some of that bubble still has a little bit of movement to expand a little bit more here as this report comes to us from Reuters through CNBC. So spot gold jumped 1.2% to $18.9265 per ounce by almost 12 o'clock noon, having earlier in the day hit its lowest since May 19th at $18.55. Wow. So that's quite a big jump here. It was down 0.6% on the week so far, and U.S. gold futures gained 1.2% to get almost to that $1,900 level. So as we get into this, I want to encourage you to hit the notifications bell so that you can be apprised of the latest video, and also engage with rating this video with a thumbs up. If you don't mind, it helps to get the word out there, as the algorithm has kind of missing some of the videos as of late here. Gold has rebounded from more than 2-week low on Friday after a rise in U.S. non-farm payroll fell short of expectations, although bullion was still on course to register its biggest weekly decline since March. So spot gold jumped 1.2% to $1,892.65 per ounce by almost 12 o'clock, 11:39 a.m. Eastern Time, having it earlier in the day hit its lowest since May 19th at $18.55. That was the time to buy. Boy, it's amazing how just a few hours essentially can change and make a difference. And this is based off of the employment data that we saw before, and the employment rate is kind of fallen a bit here. U.S. gold futures gained, and we're seeing a modest rally in the wake of the slight miss on the non-farm payrolls. More than a few market watchers were looking for a much higher number. When that didn't occur, the gold market bulls gave a sigh of relief, said Kidco Metals senior analyst Jim Wyckoff. The rebound that we've seen today keeps the uptrend on the daily chart alive in the gold market, and that's encouraging for the bulls, Wyckoff added. U.S. farm payrolls increased by 500. This is non-farm payrolls, They increased by 559,000 last month versus 650,000 forecast in a Reuters poll, while new orders for U.S.-made goods fell more than expected in April. So that means they're not out of the woods. And of course, these jobs recoveries are happening because, things are starting to get back to normal. The rates are down for the pandemic. Vaccinations are on a decent pace. And so people are excited to kind of get back into the swing of things. Of course, some of that, I believe, is stifled a bit by some of the subsidies that the government still is handing out to folks. And there's still a need for people to fill a lot of these jobs out there. The dollar index eased from a 3-week high, making gold more affordable for holders of other currencies, while benchmark 10-year yields also moved higher. So that's kind of what we saw in the strength of gold. And inflation expectations is a big one, and that's a thing that I think some analysts are trying to kind of forget about. And you'll see in tomorrow's video, stay tuned for that one. That's when you want to hit the notification bell, because I got a surprising, very interesting report from a certain organization. Inflation expectations, and those are partly based on the stronger economic data like higher jobs growth, a broader recovery in the U.S., and parts of Europe and China are still doing well. And this is by Jeffrey Christian, managing partner at CPM Group. Gold prices will probably continue to trade between 1855 and 1920 an ounce levels, Christian said. And we've kind of have already been there. So he thinks it may say trade sideways. I think they're going to go higher. I believe we'll still see $2,000 gold by the end of the year, but we'll see. Gold is often viewed as a hedge against inflation. Silver has also gained 1.2% to $27.78 per ounce. Palladium actually fell slightly, and platinum rose a little bit too. So let's take a look at the prices and see exactly where they're at as of the recording of this video. The market is about to close for the weekend, and we can see starting from the bottom up that rhodium actually took a little bit of a hit, a $500 knock on it, to $21,000 now. Now, could we have seen the highs in rhodium? Is that it? For the 30,000 or almost 30,000, hit 29,000. Are those days long gone? It's hard to tell with rhodium. Very hard to predict that metal. It operates kind of independent of everything else. Palladium fell $1, but it's still $2,887. So it's short of the $3,000 level, but they did get there, I think, briefly. Platinum up $5, still below the $12,000 or $1,200 level, but platinum is a metal that I believe we'll see continue to play along here and continue to rise. But it is exciting to see the movement there. Silver, again, it has not recovered all of its losses from yesterday, but it is a pretty big jump here, a 1.29% increase now, but still under $28. But it's $27.89 for the ask, still a dime's worth of difference between bid and ask for silver. And gold, well, it's up. Its spread is $1 between the two, bid and ask, but it's at the ask price is $18.92.80, up $21, getting closer. These are flirting with those psychological levels again of $1,928 for the two metals, and I believe we're going to see those prices again soon. So it looks like my prediction from the last video is coming true a little bit sooner than expected. Pretty big rebound. People are concerned. Inflation is one of those things that is going to rear its ugly head, and it's not going away, folks. Inflation is something we have to take into account and remember that they are going to be there for us as we look at this shiny metal, and that's something that we'll have to take into account and consider, as people will have different viewpoints. Different analysts and the like will have them on the metals, but no matter what happens with gold and silver, I believe the fundamentals remain strong for them, even if they were to go down or go up. They are there to preserve our wealth through times of economic strife and uncertainty. And certainly we've seen that over the past year or so. And I believe that we are on the cusp and the precipice of a difference and a change in our monetary system, number one. But before we get there, inflation. There's going to be a revaluation. And I think gold and silver is going to win in the long run because they can't really be tampered with. There are stores of value that transcend any economic or currency system out there, any regime, any empire, any system of government. They surpass it all. Stores of value that they have been for quite some time. And yea, though the price may fluctuate, the overall fundamentals of what they are, the true value of what they are, as precious and metal, and it doesn't get any better than that as far as I'm concerned, and that will continue to be the case for many, many years to come, long after this nation exists or any other nation that comes after it. And certainly we've seen that be the case, as we've seen the dollar itself transform and be reset through the course of the history of this nation. And as we head into our 250th anniversary in a few years here, the gold and silver will continue to be constitutional and God's money And whether the government likes it or not, no matter what the state of our nation will be by the time we hit 2026, the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence of this nation, no matter what nation you live in, the fundamentals of what gold and silver are profound and hold true. Whether or not your country or my country embraces it or not, it's really irrelevant. We embrace it as the people of this nation and of any other nation around the world. And that is what makes us, in a sense, sovereign, because we hold sovereign wealth in gold and silver. It's a very interesting indeed, a fascinating rebound that we saw. Gold and silver recovered their losses, and now you know why. I want to encourage you to stay tuned for tomorrow's video. It's going to talk a little bit more about what other people think. I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch. And I want to encourage you to please rate this video, share it within the other social media platforms out there, and comment and subscribe. It would be nice, seriously, if we could get one thumbs up or thumbs down if you really hate it that much for each view. Can you imagine that? It's never happened before, at least on my channel, but that would be nice to get that kind of engagement. It's a multitude of gratitude to you all, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.